Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into a truly epic story. It's about fear, it's about destiny, and about the incredible lengths we'll go to justify our actions when we think our very life is on the line. So just imagine hearing those words booming down from the heavens. This is the story of King Kamsa, a man who has it all and whose entire world gets turned upside down by a terrifying prophecy. It's called an Akashavani, literally a voice from the sky. And this one message kicks off a chain of events filled with cruelty, desperation, and, well, you'll see, some seriously divine intervention. All right, let's set the scene, because you've got to picture this. It's a day of pure joy. We've got King Kamsa, and he loves his sister Devaki so much that he's actually driving her wedding chariot himself with her new husband Vasudeva right there. I mean, the mood is fantastic.
But then, that voice from the sky changes everything. In an instant, Kamsa is faced with this terrifying absolute certainty that he's going to die. And his first instinct? It's not grief, it's not negotiation, it is pure, brutal violence. He literally grabs his sister by the hair, ready to kill her right then and there.
Now, Vasudeva, the husband, manages to talk him down, promising to hand over every single child they have. So Kamsa backs off, but settles on what he thinks is a foolproof plan. He'll just imprison the happy couple in his own palace, and then, one by one, as each child is born, he will personally eliminate the threat.
Okay, and this is where the story gets really fascinating. How does a man go from loving his sister to imprisoning her and planning to murder her babies? Let's actually step inside his head and look at the arguments, the justifications, that he builds for himself.
First up, it's pure self-preservation. You can almost hear him saying it, right? My life is on the line here. He frames it as this unique burden that no one else could possibly get. And in his mind, his fundamental duty to protect himself, that trumps everything, even family.
Second, and this is a clever move, he reframes his personal fear as a public service. He argues that a king who's constantly looking over his shoulder, afraid for his life, can't possibly be a good leader. So you see, getting rid of this threat isn't just for him. Oh no, it's for the good of the entire kingdom.
Third, he starts painting this unborn baby as a monster in waiting. He expands the threat way beyond himself. He's asking, if this kid is capable of killing his own uncle, who's to say he'll stop there? All of a sudden, Kamsa isn't just saving himself, he's protecting the world from a future menace.
And finally, he pulls out the classic, "I was just following orders" defense. He says the great sage Narada Muni already warned him that powerful divine forces, the demigods, were gathering against him. This made the whole threat feel so immediate, so urgent, that he felt like he had no choice but to take, brutal action.
So when you lay it all out like this, you can really see the seductive logic of fear at work. Each justification builds on the last, twisting these monstrous acts into something that, at least in his own head, felt totally rational and necessary. It is a masterclass in self-deception.
But here's the thing. For all of his careful planning and all his rock-solid justifications, Kamsa's whole strategy was built on some huge, fatal flaws. He just fundamentally misunderstood the nature of the game he was playing.
I mean, it's a pretty logical question, isn't it? You're probably thinking it right now. Why go to all the trouble of imprisonment and murder? Why not just, keep Devaki and Vasudeva apart so they couldn't have any kids in the first place? And this, right here, is the heart of the problem. Kamsa is using human logic to fight a divine prophecy. He's thinking in terms of walls and guards, but he's up against forces that don't play by those rules. He can't even imagine a divine conception, a power called Maya that makes the impossible happen. Plus, his own pride trapped him. In the end, there's a famous saying that fits perfectly. Vinashkele the pritbadi. When your doom is near, your own mind works against you.
And so, as you might expect, his foolproof plan fails spectacularly. Destiny just finds a way. After he cruelly murders 6 of his own infant nephews, the 7th child literally vanishes from the prison, miraculously transferred to another womb. And then, when the 8th child, his doom, is born, the entire prison falls into a magical sleep and the baby is spirited away right under his nose.
But this story isn't just about Kamsa failing to cheat death. No, it goes much deeper. It presents this incredibly powerful moral lesson by comparing him to another great king who was told he was going to die. Kamsa's actions are the perfect definition of what the scriptures call an asura mentality. And this isn't just about being a bad guy, it's a specific worldview.
a mindset where your own survival is the absolute highest good, and it justifies any action, no matter how cruel. Now, to really get this, let's compare him to another king, King Parikshit. He also found out he only had a short time to live. But his reaction? It couldn't be more different. He didn't fight it, he accepted it. He gave up his throne, went to the river, and used his final days to seek wisdom. One path is fear and control, the other is acceptance and devotion. And that, right there, is the ultimate lesson of this whole story. You have Kamsa's desperate, violent struggle to just stay alive, contrasted with Parikshit's path of spiritual surrender. It shows us that true greatness, maybe even a kind of immortality, isn't found in escaping our destiny, but in how we choose to face it.
So, this ancient story leaves us with a question that is absolutely timeless. When destiny calls for us, whether it's something huge or something small, what justifies our response? Is it going to be fear and a desperate need for control, or is it acceptance and the search for a higher purpose? That is the choice at the very heart of Kamsa's story.